Welcome to the Chris Fischer Show. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, joined now by Marshfield Tigers boys basketball coach Chris Fischer. Coach, a pair of games last week on the scoreboard. It looked like a fairly easy one on Tuesday night, and then you really had to go the distance against DC Everest to wrap up the week. Just help us remember that game at Schofield last week.
Yeah, it was definitely a peculiar game for us. One, a type of game that we really haven't played at all this year. A game that was very, very short on possessions. It started with the first possession that DC Everest had for them in the first half. You know, we win the opening tip and we get a really good look from about 3 to 4 feet and aren't able to finish. And then DC Everest, I think, the possession lasted about 2.5 minutes for them right off the bat, where we guarded for a while, then fouled them. They got it back in, and they ended up finishing the bucket. So at that point, you kind of get a feel for how the game's going to be played. And I was very proud of our guys. We played very, very well Friday night. And there's a couple of stats that jumped out at me to let me know that. The first one is we only had 4 turnovers all night. So when you're taking care of the ball like we did, with only 4 turnovers, you're playing very well. The other stat that jumped out at me is we averaged 1.2 points per possession, where 1 point per possession is average, and 1.2 is incredibly good. In charting possessions, when I'm watching film back, I didn't realize how much DC Everest physically had control of the ball, especially in the first half. By my count, it was over 12 minutes where they had the ball and we had to defend. So we're not even possessing the ball for 6 minutes in that first half. We played very, very well. And to Everest's credit, they dictated how that game was going to be played from the very beginning. And I thought we responded well. There was a stretch in the second half where they had gotten the lead, and then we made some big plays. Landon Lee knocked down a big 3 when it was tied. Brooks got himself out in transition a couple times, and we made just enough plays to beat a really improved and up-and-coming Everest team.
Coach, Chris Fischer's Tigers have 3 road games this week. We'll talk about those right after this. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
It's simple, but true. Time is money. At Sherrill Tire and Service, we have over 20 mobile service trucks to get you rolling and growing again. Sherrill Tire and Service Centers, your locally owned farm tire dealer.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken has been voted best pizza in Marshfield 15 years in a row. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken is ready for your call now at 715-384-8118. Choose Drunken Chicken, BLT, Western, Mac and Cheese, Sweet Chili Chicken, and more. Plus, Scotty's has roasted chicken, fish, sandwiches, salads, and desserts. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, 715-384-8118 and scottyspizza.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
As I mentioned, a trio of road games for Coach Fischer's Tigers this week. Wausau East, Wisconsin Rapids, and it all starts tonight at Stevens Point. Coach, we were looking forward to this game a couple of weeks ago. You're going to come in as the number 3 ranked team in Division I. And as the Panthers took a loss a week and a half ago, they now with 1 loss in Conference East with 2 losses in conference. A win for you tonight would put you 2 games ahead of everyone else in conference.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about, but it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us tonight. Stevens Point is incredibly talented, highly efficient. I know I mentioned some stats. The last time we had talked in preparation for that game, their statistical output has only gotten better. They have multiple guys shooting over 50% from the field, multiple guys shooting over 40% from 3, low turnovers. They're just so efficient in everything they do, in their screening and their cutting and their communication, and their connection together as a group of five on the court. Going to be a big time challenge for us. And, the anticipation of this game is now, it's has increased, since that snow day, since the makeup. And, our guys are excited for the opportunity to play tonight. We're going to have to trust our preparation. Our preparation has been really good all year. Our guys have come out ready to go every time their number's been called, and we need to be ready to go tonight.
Coach, just comparing starting lineups, you outsize them just a little bit, and then at times in your rotation, when you have Pohl and Ramberg on the floor, you'll outsize them by quite a bit. How do you take advantage of the height differential against a team like that?
We've had some size, this year. I'm thinking back 5-10 years ago, we had size as well. And I don't know if it's anything that you ever preach about with your team. I think more so than our size, I think our energy and our activity would create more of an advantage. We had a little bit of that Friday night where we had multiple offensive rebounds from Brooks Hinson and Landon Lee that created some extra possessions and some easy baskets for us in a game that was tightly contested, in a game that baskets could be at a premium. So I don't know if it's necessarily the size factor, but it's more so our energy and our activity that could give us an advantage tonight.
Coach, you mentioned rebounding. They rebound the ball well. Carter Combs, their quote unquote point guard, actually leads their team in rebounds. So boxing out, especially on those missed shots, that's got to be a big deal tonight.
Yeah, boxing out is a really tricky skill to be good at. It's not. You can coach certain aspects of it. You can coach the finding and creating contact with a guy that you got to box out. But a lot of times you see a lot of high IQ basketball players like a Carter Combs that find their way to rebounds. It's one of those skills where good rebounders always find themselves in the right spot. If you think historically in basketball, a guy like Charles Barkley at 6'4" was a tremendous rebounder because he was always in the right spot. Dennis Rodman the same way. High IQ guys usually get a lot of rebounds. So yes, boxing out is going to be a key factor tonight. But a lot of times there's nothing you can do if a 3-point shot's getting put up from 22 feet away. You could have good rebounding position, but if that ball bounced over the top of your head, you've got to track that ball down and you got to chase it down with your own energy and effort.
Let's talk about coaching prep coming into this one. We saw Wausau East a couple weeks ago put in what I call these days an exotic defense. They went to a 1-1 against these Panthers in the second half. What did you learn from watching that game? What have you learned from watching these other games as far as being efficient and being in the right spots when they have the ball?
Yeah, you definitely pick out some things watching film and watching how other teams attack each other. And you always have to apply that to your methodology and to your personnel. And, I'm not sure how we match up with Stevens Point tonight. We've been discussing some things for quite some time now. We're going to have to be really on our toes as a group of five, not necessarily as individual matchups. We've been really good defensively because we've got a solid group of five guys that play very well together. We've got certain calls that we could make in terms of ball screens and things like that. But we've got to be really connected as a group of five tonight. We just got to make sure that we're jumping to the ball and being in the right spots no matter what they do.
Early game scenario on offense. What do you want to see out of your guys? What do they need to be doing well to be out on the right track tonight?
I want to make sure that our guys value the possession of the ball, and I want to see us get great shots. Nobody in our team is going to point a finger at somebody that misses a great shot. And as long as we're doing that, we should have a lot of confidence. We do have a lot of confidence right now because we are playing very well offensively. I'm just looking to see that our guys have confidence that they find themselves open and they've got room and they've got rhythm to let it fly tonight.
Over the years, especially the last couple, and you are the defending conference champions, by the way, if folks weren't familiar with that. Yeah, in a close game, and they have been with these guys, free throw shooting down the stretch becomes a very important factor. Your confidence level coming in tonight with your guys on the free throw line?
Very confident. There's no statistical measure maybe more important than a close game than free throw shooting. And we feel that our primary ball handlers are really good at that. Brooks Hinson and Landon Lee, primarily, both of those guys are shooting in the high 80% from the free throw line. Chris Pohl's a very good free throw shooter. Brant Fry's a very good free throw shooter. We feel very confident that if it comes down to that we'll be able to execute. Now, we didn't do that well against DC Everest. Friday night, we missed a couple big ones late that could have, give us a little more breathing room. But we're confident, very confident the guys that we got to step to the line and knock down big free throws.
Coach, it's a big night tonight. It's a busy night tonight. The girls, Marshfield Spash, take the floor at 6 o'clock, and then you play about 15 minutes after. We're looking forward to the whole thing, and best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Jason. Roll Tigers.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.